you're doing
waffling a bit.
And said, do what you want with it. So, if you're sitting on here falsely accusing people, I'll speak the truth. So, when Cockapoo, yourself, and Luke sent me Evil Queen's address, right?
If Miss Red says it's not her or whatever, it's still the people around her, like Luke, like Cockapoo. Do you know what I mean?
And said, do what you want with it. Was it that bad for you doxing her then?
And if you hang around with shit people, you're going to get shit. You know, you are who you hang around with.
Was it that bad?
If she just sacked them all off, because they're not really, they're app friends. They're not really real life friends. Like, what do they contribute to her life? Do you know what I mean? What do they contribute to her life? What do they do for her? How do they stimulate her? What do they give her emotionally, financially, like mentally? Like nothing. It's just stress, stress, stress. Like, I can imagine being friends with them is just stress after stress after stress, because there's always something, you know?
Bad then when you doxed Evil Queen's address to me? Because Cockapoo hung up the phone and said, I got to call Miss Red, she has the address.
No?
And Miss Red sent Cockapoo, and Cockapoo sent me. And if Evil Queen wants to confirm it, she can text me and I can let her know the address. But again, don't preach that you're these people up here and poor you've been doxed when you haven't.
It's not about giving it to other creators. It's about who else to ever give it to, you know, because it's going to end up really bad one day. Like, I've been sent people's addresses before randomly going, oh, so-and-so lives there. I'm like, I don't care. Like, what am I going to do with it? I'm not going to waste my breath and my time going to these people's houses. I couldn't give a shit. I don't care that much. No, I really couldn't give a fuck that much, you know.
When your whole group is doing the most off of TikTok. Off of TikTok, your group is doing the most.
But the thing is, I'm not going to sit there. Thank you for the gifts, everyone. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, so-and-so is wrong for doing this. Like, if EQ wants to react whatever way she wants to react, she's well entitled to. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to fuck around, you're going to find out. So, that's it. If you lay with dogs, you're going to get fleas. So, for every action, there's a reaction.
So when you sit on this app and pretend to be this moral high ground, I misread and poor me, I'm such a victim, I get affected by everything, like, you can't blame somebody, no matter what they do, you can't blame somebody for reacting to someone else's bullshit. So if EQ goes below the belt or does something or reacts, she's very much entitled to. If you may not act that way, everyone's different, you know, but you can't, again, blame someone for reacting to someone else's bullshit. Like, when I react to people when they put me through shit and I get called a bully, I'm like, but I'm entitled to react. What? Am I just meant to just take it on the chin? Like, you're allowed to react however, whatever which way, you know? And if people think it's wrong, like 9 times out of 10, what EQ says, it's just to fucking get a reaction and she gets it. More for you lot if you're offended by what she says, because if you haven't clocked on and what she does, then that's up to you, you know? Yeah, but if you're going to be offended saying, oh, pouring petrol through someone's door, no one's going to do that, are they? So you're just wasting your time by getting stressed about it. No one's pouring petrol through any door. So you just like, it's just an off-the-cuff comment, you know, but people are just dramatic and be like, it was disgusting. It's like, well, you can't blame someone for feeling that way, but is it going to happen? No. Does she mean it? No. Do you know what I mean? People choose to be offended or outraged. You're doing everything you're telling people not to do.
No.
So, again...
And she actually said, I hope they don't. So, and no one will.
Misread.
Fucking hell, there's people that done worse on the app. People have Diatro's address. Do you think anyone's put fucking petrol through his door? Well, people say a lot of stuff for this shit.
Don't fuck about, because you're going to find out. I know you're not used to people clapping back at you because you think...
See, listen, I don't even know half of it that happened after because I was in bed, so don't come for me. I get an early light.
You're this right here, the queen of TikTok and no one can stop me. But where's your boy Luke right now?
Where is he? I can't see him on live anymore. So before you start making false accusations, you think I need to think about you when I'm on holiday with my...
Listen to him. Let's hear Miss Red's side.
Yeah, he's gonna slate me because he's a little fucking clout chaser. The lies that he's told over the last couple of months and added my name into it because he's wanted me to bite back for so long. So long he's wanted me to bite back. Do you know what I mean? He's a fucking liar. Listen, whatever Cockapoo's done, that's Cockapoo, right? It's nothing to do with me. But he has to add my name into the mix to make it sound a bit worse. He's a fucking lying little prick.
If you want to win the Pretty Little Thing advent calendar today, then you smash the target, yes? This lovely, glorious thing. I don't know what's in it.
And he knows what he's fucking doing.
Up, Sarah, thank you.
I've never asked that fucking boy for anything. Never asked him for nothing. I've never asked him to fucking back me up. I've never told him what to say. When he fired up his line when me and Zach were going through that thing, right, I didn't even fucking know the guy.
Me?
I never asked him to do anything for me. Not a fucking single thing. He's a fucking liar.
He didn't say that she did though, did he? He didn't say that she did though, did he? He done it all off his own back.
Little lying prick.
Hiya.
Hiya, Cockapoo.
Oh. Thank you, Leslie. Thank you, Leslie, love. Thank you, Ellie. Let's listen to what she has to say.
I know you're angry, but let's. I offered to join Brat's box, and he said no. I'm not denying
Thank you, darling.
that I gave him Evil Queen's address, but what I'm going to do is set some context.
Oh, context.
At the time, Prince Brat was very, very, very upset because he was being threatened. He told me, and he was being doxxed, him and his partner. And at the time, of course, we were all friends. I'd spoken to Prince Brat maybe a couple of times. He asked me if I had Evil Queen's address, and I said, I don't know. I'll have to go and check. I don't know whether I've got it or not.
I'll have to go and check. So what does she do? Does she store fucking addresses in a little notebook? Fucking weirdos.
I couldn't remember because he'd asked me once before for it. Of course, Evil Queen's address is all over the newspapers in Liverpool. I didn't
know the street, not the door number. I've even checked. The press do not put your door number. Could you imagine if you commit a crime or something? Can you fucking address it? They don't do that. Shush. Chatshit.com.
That complaint. And it was online. And I haven't got that in receipts because I don't keep that sort of shit. And it was a phone call. But
she doesn't keep that sort of shit. But further back, she was saying that she'll have a look. She doesn't know whether she has it or not. So that's telling me you might have stored it somewhere. Lot of inconsistencies, isn't there, honey pies?
I did send him that. So he will be able to produce a message with that information in, basically. Okay. And the bottom line is just going back to what's happened.
Yeah, and if she's having a look for it, where does she get it in the first place? If she'll have to find it. Just an observation. Hello, carry on banging.
Ems will also be able to produce a message which will show who sent her that information. Yeah. If in fact it is true and she wasn't just winding you up. Yeah. So if we're going to do open,
none of them. No, oh, my Lost Mary's run out. None of them have said, do you know what, right? And I get it where Miss Red's coming from. Like, she's thought her address has been docked, so she's been like, rah, rah, rah. But people like Luke the Judge and Cockapoo and Alex and all of that would be in their ear, going, oh, it was definitely Prince Brat. Think who had your address. Rather than think, oh no, Marcus Ems is having you on, she's chatting shit. They'd all get their backs up and be like, nah, Prince Brat would have done that. Prince Brat would have done that. Do you know what I mean? So they would have been in Miss Red's ear, yapping away, putting it in her head, and then she's run with it. That's exactly what happens.
And kimono on the whole thing, why doesn't Ems do that as well? Because otherwise, it's Ems that's thrown him under the bus, nobody else.
Like my address has been doxed so many times, and these fuckers, Pearl done it and gave it to Corey, but I didn't fire up alive and be like, my address has been doxed. I don't care. Come to my house.
Yeah. Like I say, as Ems got it, I don't know what Ems has got. At the end of the day, right, I've just sat on that live and listened to him again, bring my name into a situation which had absolutely fuck all to do with me. It had nothing to do with me. I didn't even fucking know about it.
This account as well, Hans.
And I'm not covering my tracks. I'm not lying about it. I did what he said I did. I gave him the address. The guy was crying on the phone to me. He was devastated at the time because it was affecting his personal life. He said he felt frightened in his own home. He felt frightened for his mum. He said that there were other things going on in his family and he didn't know where this was all coming from, but he wanted it to stop and he thought making a police complaint about it would help it stop.
Yeah.
Fact.
He's a little weasel. I hope you're listening to this, mate. You're a weasel. You're a little weasel. And I didn't stab you in the back, mate. What I did...
None.
Reese, Luke, and Pearl, and Davy Baby, right? All four of them I still speak to, you know. Reese would never do it, Davy Baby would never do it, Luke would never do it, and Pearl would never do it. They would never, ever, guys, give my address away, okay? So you're wrong, it's 100% not them. There's only one person with a connection to her that has my address, right? And
so Alex Brigham, listen to the many bullshits, much bullshit of Alex Brigham. Let's listen to this, shall we? Cast your minds back because you're going to have to go into the vault. Thank you, Queen of Arnwind, for the clip. Miss Red and Alex talk about him never knowing her address or needing it. Clips at the end is from April.
It just really annoys me.
Yeah.
Because I know none of you would do that to me, none of you.
No, of course not. But to be honest with you, Don, I haven't even got your address, so you know what I mean.
Never had it.
Yeah,
wasn't he the one that said Miss Red's address got doxed last time in Torian's chat? And he was so adamant it was Miss Red's address, and he's so adamant he's seen the proof and all of that. He's starting to see how they all work. Like Alex and that lot. We start to see how toxic and they all work. Yeah.
I got spread around saying, "Oh, it's Alex's. Alex is going to." I've never needed Donna's address. Like, you know what I mean?
When you fired up the live and you were saying it, every intimation
this is 2 months.
that came out
April,
that live
this is
was
April.
that her current address was doxed in that live, in the comments, and you had a screenshot. Now, I'm not a dumb guy, right? I was sat in that live from start to finish, and up until the point of, you know, the vigorous way that you were explaining it and all that sort of stuff, exactly, that's my positive impression of what happened out there. So I think that's where the confusion is.
People need to look at who are the toxic ones. They just want creators like me out the way.
I don't think there
Because I'm a realist.
was a full twisting on that. Like I say, I get why you then told Donna and why you then sort of said, oh, look, this has generally happened. But there was no indication on that live that this was months ago. The people had done this months ago, and you showed me screenshots.
I like
months ago.
TJ.
The intimation was that you had a screenshot.
They do get into our
in
head.
Torian and Paige's live in the comments, which is why you had fired up that live.
Right,
You showed
listen.
me screenshots months ago. The intimation was that you had a screenshot in Torian and Paige's live in the comments, which is why you had fired up that live and why you were so pissed off. Is that wrong to say?
I fired the live because I've been on the phone call to my friend, upset.
That's not the answer that we're looking for. Answer the question. We weren't asking for a reason. We wanted an answer to the question. See, he's a compulsive liar.
crying, right, all night. And it wasn't just the fact is the doxing, it was the fact is that the shit that she was getting, the doxing thing was just a nail in the coffin. So that's why the live was fired up originally. It wasn't fired up originally to do.
And he made out that her address was doxed, you know, and Miss Red was none the wiser. She thought it had been. She's going to trust her friend, didn't she? But what sort of friend is that if you're going to lie to your mate who's got a large platform and cause all this aggro for her? Are you starting to see the common denominators?
Doxing. I mentioned the doxing, then the conversation shifted. I mean, for you to come in and say that, oh, it was because that you made out that her current address. I mentioned the doxing, right? And yeah, I did mention.
And they all go on about bullying women. Oh, Zach only bullies women, but it's all right for Frankie to sit in a box with Alex and say that he wants to punch Angie in the face. Do you know what I'm saying? Do you know what I mean? Like, and I feel sorry for their communities because they sit in these lives and listen to this shit 24/7. Crazy.
Current address because at the end of the day, that's what people were saying. But when that look, but that's
what people were saying. So people were saying their address was doxed, or you seen the proof. Which one is it, Alex? Which one is it? Because you said you seen the proof that her address was doxed, and now you're saying people were saying it.
To be doxing her previously. So me sending her a message saying that, yeah, okay, look, this is what's happened tonight. And we all know what's going on. Come on, it's obvious. You can see it from a mile off.
But you said that you'd seen proof. Who's tripped him? They don't believe their own lies. And do you know why? Because they lie on a regular basis, just for the sake of gatekeeping followers or just having a little bit of something. That's literally what they do. Literally what they do. I'm not on about Miss Red, I'm on about the others. That's literally what they do. Honestly, they're just bullshit. They're not genuine in the slightest. They're not authentic people, you know. They're horrible. They're horrible. Right. EQ responds to the click leaking her old address.
The information was in the public domain. He was crying his eyes out.
Responsibility and her family responsibility. If she wasn't such a rat, then none of this would happen ever. But she's constantly up to mischief behind the scenes, and then it all comes out, and they all try and cover for Miss Red all the time. It was me. Cockapoo's saying it was her because nobody knows Cockapoo. They don't know her name. They don't know her address. So Cockapoo's going to say, "Oh, it was me," to cover for Miss Red, because people know that Miss Red's address is available at this current time. You know what I mean? So anybody saying different gets blocked, because you're not telling me I'm not been friends with these people, you know what I mean? So you're not telling me lies. So block the people who were saying it wasn't Miss Red, it was Cockapoo. It wasn't. Cockapoo is taking the flak because nobody knows Cockapoo, so no one can give Cockapoo's information out. But if I ever get it, then I'll be giving that out. It may take a year, it could take 2, but what happens in the dark always comes to the light.
Agreed.
So there we go. So you'll be sorry you crossed me. Facts.
And the thing is, we've all been like friends with him at one point, so we know exactly what we're talking about. Do you know what I mean? We know exactly what we're talking about. I said it months ago how they played mindfuck games. You know how they played mindfuck games. I'd always used to get banned before 10 o'clock. You know, it may not necessarily have been misread, but the people she associates herself with, yeah, 100%. Do you know what I'm saying?